Welcome to the Global Business Talk Show, here on WABS 1170, brought to you by the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, bringing you leaders and experts from across many industries, because your business bottom line is crucial. Stay up to date with the show and community at HaitiDistrict.com.
Of life. Yeah. When you're about to win, there is always a fight. Now what does it take for a man to rise with a smile on his face and give thanks and praise for all that's been done? Jah, let me thank you for all you have done. Jah, I will give thanks for all you have done, yes. Jah, let me thank you for all you have done. Jah, I will give thanks for all you have done. I've been blessed over and over again. There's been times I felt like giving in. As sure as the sunrise, you should never take your eyes off the prize. Behind every sad face, there's always a smile. Jah, let me thank you for all you have done. Jah, I will give thanks for all you have done, yes. Jah, let me thank you for all you have done. Jah, I will give thanks for all you have done. Don't let your faith be shaken, though sometimes it might be rough. There's better in the making, and we all do go through stuff. We should never give up. Jah will fill up your cup. Why? I've been blessed. Jah. As sure as the sunrise, never take your eyes off the prize. Jah, let me thank you for all you have done. Jah, I will give thanks for all you have done, yes. Jah, let me thank you for all you have done. Jah, I will give thanks for all you have done. Jah, let me thank you for all you have done. Jah, I will give thanks for all you have done, yes. Jah, let me thank you for all you have done.
ABC Ultimate Studio, in association with Jam Rush Production, presents Caution and Friends, Saturday, November 20th, 7 p.m. at the Garden, 4340 North State Road 7, Lauderdale Lakes. Performing live, Red Fox, Michael Russell, Ed Robinson, Simone G, Potential Music, Kyle the Righteous, Two of a Kind, backed by South Florida's #1 reggae band, Code Red. Special appearance by Caution. Pre-sold tickets online at bit.ly/Caution and Friends. On Ice Jamaican Restaurant, Bruno's, or Fancy Loaf Bake. Caution and Friends.
As a member of the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, your business and employees can enjoy a broad range of membership benefits and business services that we offer, such as networking, after hours, and special events in South Florida and in Haiti. You can also participate in our weekly radio talk show for great opportunities to advertise and promote your business, receive member-to-member discount, as well as educational and mentorship opportunities. Contact us at 954-882-0571 or visit us online at www.HAAMCC.com. Good morning and welcome to the Global Business Talk Show. It's always a pleasure to be with you, to bring you the best, to bring you the expert. But today we're going to bring you the best in music. The legendary Gregory Colin Bailey is from Antigua and Barbuda, two island nation. Welcome, Mr. Causion.
Yes. Greetings. It's great being here. How are you feeling? How are you doing?
Well, I'm blessed for every day that we're able to see another day.
Yes, we have to give thanks for that, because, it's a lot going on in this time,
Yes.
in this space that we're in right now,
Yes, I'm from Haiti, and often people say, things are bad. I said, don't say things are bad. Say things are challenging, because 20 years ago, people still thought that things were bad, and now we feel like it's worse.
That is true.
Tell me, when you were growing in Antigua, you say you always knew that you were going to be a professional artist. How was your life in Antigua?
Well, living in Antigua as a youth, was always interesting for me personally because of where I grew up. Music on a whole was always in my life, regardless of how you twist and turn it. I grew up around a family of musicians on both sides, on my father's side and on my mother's side, and also, just in the neighboring communities in the village, different villages where this is just a lot of musicians was always around. We had a lot of free time. We had a lot of time to spend doing music and doing things that were more pleasurable, I would say.
Than what you're doing, or should you say, than what people are doing right now in the States?
Well, technology wasn't what it is today. Let's put it that way. So, as far as going to school and coming home at the end of the day, living on an island, and especially an island from where I'm from, Antigua is a very beautiful place. We have 365 beaches. We have a beach for every day of the year to choose from. So you see what I'm talking about.
Do you people work? Or you work with your music?
Well, for me personally, beach was living on the ocean and the beach was fun. It was, and playing music, so it was always there, for us. So music was the
center of your life. Yeah, so the reason why I'm asking this is because I'm trying to picture Antigua being a place that is stress-free.
It is.
Yes.
For some people.
There's people in Antigua that are stressed.
Yeah, man,
the politicians.
Stress all over, man.
And then you growing up, and in 1988 you have your recording success with African Girl.
You've been digging
deep?
Murder. Yeah, African Girl. African Girl. When we recorded African Girl out by my brethren studio Talawa, that was a very
unique
experience.
Huh?
Yeah, because those times it was the first time I would actually say that we were spending time in a studio, and recording then was not what it is now.
So that was back in Antigua.
Yeah, recording then worldwide was not what it is now.
I've seen the tapes. I have some folks that are still having those heavy tapes, crazy, and then they have to cut. Yes.
Ain't no cutting them no more. Copy and paste.
Now it's copy and paste.
Yeah, but the music itself, that when we did the African Girl, the whole band had to go in the studio at the same time, and it was 8 tracks. I remember that. 8 tracks, and they were just recording everything all at once.
And if it's wrong, we have to start over.
Start all over. You know what I mean? So we would go in the studio and we'd spend all night just recording, playing it over and over and over until the engineer was satisfied. Okay, that's a wrap. We have that.
Can you imagine nowadays people could be from
different part of the world playing, and it seems like they could synchronize everything.
Yeah, pretty much that's what we do now, because most of the people that I work with are in different countries.
Okay.
And getting together in one room is pretty much
too expensive because you have to fly them in.
It's almost unheard of. It's too easy to create them. You create parts of it, send it over, email it to the next guy across the water. He puts on what he's doing and then send it back, and you do what you're doing and then send it to the next person, and so on until you're done.
So we should say that life is easier now.
The vibe's not the same.
Exactly. This is why I wanted to come. The vibes are not the same because we are social beings. And when all of you guys are in one room playing, there's a synergy. You just have to look at the other guy and then
feel something. It's the energy. You
yes.
know what I mean? It's a powerful energy that you can't duplicate it. So now
we automated and then it's like boom, 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 yeah.
We don't this generation and the next generation, I feel sorry for them, because they have no idea of what they were missing out on. My younger days, my childhood days, I would never change that for nothing. And if I could live it over again, I will. Changes, I will.
Yes, you would. So that's mean life is good, and you're grateful for all the good experience that you've had.
I give thanks for everything that I've had the opportunity of being able to.
I think you're reading my mind because we were going to talk about that. Get to know Jah. Where did you get this inspiration? Were you always a spiritual person? I mean, or was it just the beach and the music?
The beach and the music bring that, because you become one with yourself. Become one with nature, and you learn to appreciate the fundamental things that make us, I think when you sit down and you just relax for a minute and listen to silence, and you learn and start to learn about what you're actually feeling. Nature. Right, we are nature in itself, because we're only here for a time, and everything is for a time. We need to learn to appreciate it. We need to learn to embrace it. We need to learn to embrace the water. We need to learn to embrace the wind, the sound of everything. We need to learn to embrace each other and learn to know how to love each other from a deeper place, from a spiritual place and from a conscious place, so that we know how to appreciate every single thing that God has given us.
Were you always in that space of gratitude? Because you say that you've been blessed with the support and with inspiration. Were you always that spiritual, that connected with the universe and the great architect?
I would like to think so, because of music itself. For me, when I started to embrace music from a very young age, I was more in touch with what I was learning from the lyrics, from the music, from the beat of the music. I was becoming very, very conscious of everything that I was hearing, and I was trying to imagine what the person that was writing this body of work for me to listen to today, what he or she was actually going through and experiencing that brought them to that point where they were writing this piece of lyric that is going to educate me on how to live my life in a better way. I believe that as musicians, as writers, as lyricists, that we are teachers, right? We are given a gift by the Almighty to educate each other, because this body of work that we create in this time here is going to outlast us and outlast the next generation and the next generation. So we should strive to seek that place whereby we are educating the work that we are doing. We are educating each other how to embrace life, love each other, love one another, love the planet that we were given, right, to live on, and not take none of it for granted. So I've always been in touch, and I strongly believe that every artist, every musician, every person that has a voice to speak, that commands the ears of the people, should always be conscious of every word that comes out of their mouth, because at the end of the day, you never know what the person that is listening to is going to do or act on, right? Love that. Embrace that, right? Make sure that you are what you speak.
Mm-hmm.
You live what you preach. You preach what you mean. You know?
They say that you have social and conscious lyrics that are filled with appealing message that blends today's reggae, soul, pop music with a bit of yesterday. A friend of mine says that an artist is the only person who could talk now about what's going to happen in the future. Is that true?
That is a divine inspiration.
That's right.
Given by the Almighty. Right?
And that same artist says to me, artists are like king because they're able to have that gift.
Yeah. That could be said, because sometimes the artist is speaking
Mm-hmm.
or singing, and
Something that has not happened.
he or she doesn't really know what he's actually saying. It's just a vibe that that comes from the above.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, it is.
It's amazing how the Almighty work. You know.
It is a divine inspiration.
Yes.
But in 2005, from your album One Life to Live, how do we explain to the world that it's important for them to live in the now, because the teachings that you're giving them, you know, you hear the music, you feel the vibes. Sometimes people are not paying attention to the lyrics.
One life to live.
One Life to Live, 2005.
Yeah, you see, one life to live.
Mm-hmm.
And again, you know, we go back and we revisit when we say, you know, you must live what you preach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Preach what you live, right? Be conscious of the words that you speak. One Life to Live, we was on tour, and we was under the 95 drive, leaving from a show in North Carolina, I think it was, and everybody will leave from that venue and on the way to the next venue.
Mm-hmm.
And while we were traveling, wake up, we feel the bus moving very slow.
Mm-hmm.
Right, you know, and when you're on the tour bus, the noise, the engine, you hear the engine rumbling.
You could tell.
Yeah, you can
It's
tell.
not the same when you're on a boat, though.
No,
But on a bus, you feel it.
Yeah, we feel the bus not moving as fast as it should. And we rise up and look out the window, and to our surprise, that it was a massive accident.
Mm.
Right, and while looking out the window, you see this accident going on for miles. There was a lot of cars from where we first saw it. We saw people on the side of the road, on the side of the highway, just trying to resuscitate people.
Mm-hmm.
and so on. And I looked to my brethren Mannix, God rest his soul, right? And I said, boy, Mannix, you know, one life to live. You know, look here, you leave from one destination to the next, and you're traveling, and in hopes that you get to where you're going safely, to be with your family and friends and so on. And you just never know, right? We have one life to live, and that's the way. That's what brought that song, One Life to Live, and the title track for that album into existence, right? And I sat down there and started writing that song while we were traveling, right? And then when we got back to New York, continued to work on it. So you see, sometimes we're inspired by other stuff that happens, whether negative or positive, to bring more light to somebody else's life. So let each one of us know that we have one life to live, one road to walk, right? And we must make sure that at any given time that we hold on to that thought and live the best life and the most honest and appreciative life that we can live. Just learn to love each other. Yeah.
Beside the divine inspiration, would you, and there's a reason why I'm going to ask you this question, would you consider yourself somebody who's sad? Because they say Caution display his natural ability to turn obscure into the obvious. Is that true?
Complicated.
I would think that that's somebody who's just sad, who just have bad experience, and they're able to be in touch with those type of realities.
Well, I don't know if I would really put it that way, because with sadness comes joy.
With sadness comes joy. This is
Yes,
deep. We need to elaborate on that.
Yeah, man. With sadness comes joy, because when we're sad, we tend to sit down and look at everything, and then all of a sudden the sun comes out and starts shining again, and there's joy. You know, you start looking back and realize there's a lot more
than the sadness.
So, you know, we have to embrace it all, because it all works together. Every negative don't function without positive, and positive don't function without negative.
So I would say unless I had felt sadness, I wouldn't be able to appreciate
the
joy.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So that is very powerful. Your lyrics are very powerful, straightforward, and to the point.
Cold sweat, and I don't know where to go. I got cold sweat, yeah, cold sweat, running down my face. I said it's cold sweat, all over the place. Oh, cha cha, I see night coming, and I don't know where to turn. Oh, cha cha, I see night coming, and I don't know where to turn. Never want chance public, come no and business. Sailing in the streets, rain are falling, breeze are blowing. I've got to face the night heat. Cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat. Oh, ja, ja, I see night coming. Ja, I don't know where to turn. Oh, ja, ja, I see night coming. Ja, what a lesson I've learned. My skin is black upon me and my bones, they burn with heat. My guitar just keeps on crying. Cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat. When you got nowhere to turn, my same night coming. Dry your weeping eyes, 'cause Jaja will be there. Yeah. When you got nowhere to turn, and Jaja will be there. Yeah. Ooh, when you got no place to turn, oh Jaja, I see a night coming. What a lesson I've learned. Oh Jaja, I see a night coming, and I don't know where to turn. I got to find some place to lay my head. I got to wake up and eat a piece of bread. I got to work so that I can survive. I know I've got to stay alive. Cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat, cold sweat.
Now you have done a lot of collaboration with artists.
Yeah. We did a few.
The few?
A few.
What do you mean a few?
A few.
Rita Marley, Freddie McGregor,
Yeah, we've worked a lot with a lot of those people. Yeah.
and I think even Buju Banton.
Well, I didn't. Bojo was the label that I was involved with, Cell Block,
Mm-hmm.
in Jamaica. Bojo was part owner of that studio.
Have you lived in Jamaica?
No, but I spent a lot of time there with my virgin Sil, who is one of the owners of Cell Block.
Okay.
It's more like my brother.
When touring and traveling, I know that you've done the Moja Arts Festival. How was that experience for you in Charleston?
Mojo Festival.
Mm-hmm.
The first time I went there, that was truly an experience.
2006, you were a headliner.
Yeah, that was by accident.
By accident?
Yeah. The headliner of the show, Everton Blender, he was supposed to headline the show, and we got a call when we were in 2 days before, wherever we were, that Everton was not going to be able to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And they wanted to know if I would headline. And I thought about it for a second when Peanut was talking to me about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
We're getting paid more money. I just laughed and said the guy offered. The promoter did offer more to do it.
Was it your way for not taking it? Thinking like, if he has more money, he's not going to take it. So
No, well, I was still going to be there anyway.
Okay.
It's just the position now.
To be the headliner.
Your
You're
time
more
slot
upfront.
now becomes longer than the original contract.
Okay.
So, yeah, I told him, yeah, man, no problem, we'll do it. But me tell him, I said to him jokingly, I said, look, you're going to have to call the fire department.
Because it's going to be fire in Charleston.
I said, we're going to burn the place down.
You're going to burn the place down.
And to be honest, I was joking when I said that, right? Just to add the humor to it. And we got there. Everything was going good. And we didn't miss everything. Sorry, my brethren, but we didn't miss it. The show was awesome. The show was crazy. They did have to get the fire department to stop it.
I figured, you predicted it.
You
You sent that to the universe.
It's almost as if that the people just did not get enough. There was 18,000 people there.
Wow.
And come off the stage, go back on. Come off the stage, go back on. Right? And they didn't get enough of what we were coming with. It was nice. I would love to go back.
To
there
go back
again.
and do it again.
I hope my brethren Ose is doing well. He's the promoter of that thing here, and wonderful promoter.
Your career continued to take you to new heights of achievement and accomplishment. Let's stay within the realm of being an artist. You've lived a good life. You have some great experience. What would you do different in terms of patience, in terms of being an overachiever or being too hard on yourself, not taking enough time to take care of yourself? What would you do different?
Take more time to take care of myself.
Because you just
Workaholic.
dove into you were workaholic.
Yeah.
That's the word that I didn't want to use. The people who are perfectionists, they shine, but there's a price to it. So you would take more time for yourself.
I come from a background, a family background that I love. Right, we were taught to work hard.
Do the best that you can the first time.
Right. We were taught that. We were brought up that way. We were encouraged all the time to work hard at whatever we were doing. The family unit itself, you didn't have to look far for that.
Mm-hmm.
It was always there. So you had no choice. But sometime in working hard, we have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
We have to pause. Take a pause and remember to take care of yourself. Yeah.
Does this continue the legacy of artist, musician in your family? What would you tell your children, your nephews and kids about the life of an artist and a successful one as you?
Well, as a human being, to achieve anything that you're striving to be, anything that you want to be, you want to accomplish in your life. Remember that it doesn't come easy.
There's a price to pay.
There's a price to pay, and you must work hard at it if you want it. Right? If you take it easy and think, well, it's going to be given to you or you're going to be handed to you, you have a you have a serious thing coming your way. But always work hard at anything you want to achieve, anything you want to accomplish. Always work hard. Do your research. Make sure that you truly understand and you're willing to go the distance, so that when you look back, you can say, yes, I did it.
And I'm glad you said that to a closer time when you've been diagnosed with cancer. But you said earlier that if you have to do the Mojo Festival, you would do it again.
Yes.
So, in a way, the price, you're willing to take it because that's what gives you, that's what makes you feel alive, your joy and your passion for music.
Yeah, music is a powerful thing.
It is.
It is a powerful thing, and it is something that we must realize that it will always be there. It was here from the beginning of time, from the first sound that you hear. It's music.
Yes.
Till the end of time, there will be music.
You got diagnosed in 2019 or 18 with cancer?
19, wow.
19. It's already 3 years.
2 years now.
Almost 2 years. And here's the reason why I want you to talk about it, because I'm a breast cancer survivor. 2004, came back in 2015, and then I have lung cancer in 2017. I am a firm believer that sometimes people just get up in the morning and they could just down their spit. So if you have a chance to go through it, I think God is helping you understand that it's part of your growth. Do you feel like we could get you on stage next year?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, okay. So you're a man of faith.
No.
You're a man of faith. So I like that.
Yeah, you know, listen, life is what it is. It's life. We pass this way once, right? And we all must realize that. We must make sure that we live our life to the best of our ability. We must make sure that we give that same energy off as well. No matter how much things that take place in our life, both good and bad, right? We must make sure we strive to make sure the good always prevail, right? We must give thanks for all the things that has happened in our life, both good and bad, because the bad things make us look at the good things in a different light, right? And when we achieve the good things, we look back at the bad things and learn. We make sure we learn from it. So you see, with everything that's going on in my life at this present time and going forward, is that I view it all as it is part of the journey. It is part of the journey, and it's the part of the journey that I have no choice but to embrace it. And as I set forward and I am embracing what is actually taking place, I also look at the negative, but also see the positive. I see the positive as an educational thing for not just myself and for the people in my immediate circle, but the people that's outside of the circle, and how much we can live to educate the people on what is going on. How much you spend time to embrace what is actually happening, so that you can better overcome whatever your challenges is and your journey is. But if we don't seek to understand that form of education, we look at ourselves and ask ourselves, why me? But why not you?
Why not you?
Right?
No, why not
this
you?
Is
and
all
who,
a part of
yes.
life, and it's all a part of the journey. It's all a part of somebody's journey. That journey might be you, right? But in turn, while you are going on that journey, how much are you looking to impact somebody else's journey to make sure that their journey can be easier. And also they turn around and make your journey become easier for you to do. We're not here to live forever.
You said one life to live.
Right? We have one life to live, and we're only here for a time. Right? And 7 scores and 10. That's what our Father promised us. I would love to get to that. Right? I would love you to get to that. I would love anybody in the sound of my voice to get to that. But we all need to learn how to educate each other and how to embrace each other to get to that.
You focus on the positive, and I would say maybe one of the negative that you would probably want to mention about is eatings, because we met doing an initiative to help people eat better.
Yes.
So if you look back, one of the negative would be when you're touring, you're not eating. When you're playing your music and you're inspired, you spend the whole day not eating. Did you do that?
I don't do that no more.
So you learned.
But yes.
You used to do that. You used to go a day without drinking water. I see you with your water now.
Yeah, man.
So you took those things for granted, and I feel it because I've been there.
I did. We would be filled with the music in creating the music, and sometimes you would realize so much time pass. And it's not just music alone. It's anything that we truly just love and feel that the passion
about.
to want to do it. We get into it, and then we don't take time to eat something,
care of ourselves,
nourishment, and then the right kind of nourishment and so on, because the body requires certain things, and when we start educating ourselves on the right things to eat and the water, the stuff that we're drinking,
the type of food that we're eating that keeps us up, that gives us energy.
You take that for granted.
Yes, you take it for granted. I could spend a whole day in front of the computer and totally forget that I eat. And so I would only imagine that when you're doing your music, you forget whether you ate, drank, and you don't feel it right away.
No.
Now, what's the message? You said that if you had to do it over, you would eat differently. You would take care of your eating habits differently. Give us some of those maybe bits and nuggets that you could share with us.
Well, one, pay more attention to the times that we eat. Pay more attention to the amount of liquid that we consume and the right type of liquid. Some people like the alcohol, some people like the juice, some people like the water. But when you really check it out, the amount of water you drink is the most important thing, right? So,
and juice is not water.
Yeah.
And alcohol is not water.
Right.
Yeah.
So water itself is a like life.
When you think about the eating habits, and one of the things that I'm struggling with sometimes when I talk about food insecurity, it's like, I wish I was in Haiti. Do you wish that you were in Antigua eating the good stuff?
Yes. I wish I was in Antigua regardless.
Okay.
Because, at home, we eat differently. And then the food we eat
Bio,
off the earth.
organic,
and
yes.
If you notice, if you pay attention, sometimes the food that you get where we're from, it's not laced with all kind of preservatives and no chemicals, and it's not injected with things to help it to grow faster and so on. So you find that you're eating a lot more healthier. My grandmother, Stella, right, and Stella, known to everybody else, she lived to a ripe old age. And I sat down many times on the gallery talking to her just to see through her eyes what she was seeing. And she used to talk a lot about the food, about the ground provisions, the things that grow up on the earth, right? And what you realize was that they were getting raw stuff, right?
They didn't get
the chemicals that we got, and you started to become even more conscious of it when you even just sit down and talk to an older person to educate you on that. So it's something that we need to pay close attention to, especially in this time where there's so many things going on that is just distracting us from being able to live a more comfortable life and a longer life. Yeah.
We need to have a longer life.
Yeah.
Now, you talk about your bringing from Jamaica, and today we're here to invite our friends to come and spend an evening with Caution because you're celebrating 2 years of survivorship. I celebrate every minute of survivorship, and when you look at 2 years, I've celebrated 17. So I am so glad that all your friends, all your bringing, are coming with you to celebrate on November the 20th. It's this month. It's a couple of days after my birthday, and I'm going to be there from 7 to 11. Yes. And it's going to be hosted by Jody Han Gray at the Garden, which is located at 4340 North State Road 7 in Lauderdale Lakes. Tell us about the few people that you're going to be with. Have you been on stage with them before? Red Fox, Ed Robinson?
Well, Red Fox is a bona fide friend. Me and Red Fox been friends for a long time. From since in New York.
So it's a family and friend reunion, huh?
It's a personal brethren of mine. Is a DJ that I've admired all my life.
DJ Tufus is there. He's gonna be there too.
He's there. He's a good friend of mine. He's from Antigua. A good friend of mine. Ed Robinson. Everybody must know Ed Robinson. Ed Robinson is the artist that sang "Knocking on Heaven's Door." A song that is like a staple.
I think I'm gonna have a spiritual experience when I get there. Yeah. Simone and Kyle the Righteous are gonna be there as well.
Sister in that we've gone through a lot together, and we have a lot more to go. And I look forward every moment to on stage with her.
Yes,
she's just a joy to my soul. Kyle is a youth that I met him a few years ago. He's
he resembles
gospel
you
rap artist.
Yeah.
He's young and upcoming, but he's talented, very talented. And the potential music. There are a set of young musicians and artists that it's nice. It's a breath of fresh air. You have two of a kind as well. Two brethren that I met years ago. Very talented. Them have some new tune that is going on right now. It's doing very well. But it's going to be a nice thing. But the nature of the show itself, it's really Caution and Friends. Everything comes from out of an idea. My experience, my journey is one that I'm encouraged to want to teach other patrons of music, lovers of music, right? Other artists as well, because sometimes, as artists, sometimes we get caught up in the limelight and the glitz and the glamour of all of it, and sometimes we don't take time to check into ourselves. And then there's times now when situations and challenges reach us that we don't want to talk to anybody about. We're almost ashamed of it, right? Because you can't let anybody know that you're in this position, but you can't deal with it, whether financially or mentally, right? And through this situation here, when I got placed in this, I realized that one, I didn't have any health insurance at the time. I was never banking on anything like this happening. You just never know. It happened, and then all of a sudden, I just become faced with a situation whereby money start run out.
Well, money will always start running out. I can imagine myself with 3 sessions. Chemo alone, I mean 6 sessions, we have $390,000. This is the same as just selling your house. So it's gonna be, and I'm sending out a call out for my friends. As a chamber, we don't usually ask you to come and buy a ticket for $40. What I am sending out right now is for businesses to buy tickets for 10 of their employees. This is the support that we need. This is the consciousness, because the mission is now. And I feel and I understand how when you put your business out and you're sharing and you still keep on teaching to the people how they need to take care of themselves and how short life is. So we're going to have a good time.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have some great people. We're going to spend some...
raise some souls in there, man.
Mr. Caution, and you see, I'm calling you Mr. Caution now. We are not going to put Lauderdale Lakes on fire, because I don't think we have that many fire department in there. So we're not going to set the stage of the gardens on fire. We're gonna raise this stage. We're gonna have a good time. The tickets are only $40. We need your support, and we need you to go and visit themissionnow.com. This is gonna be a very good experience, a very nice evening of music, of people connecting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's gonna be a wonderful. I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it.
I'm actually excited over it. I'm excited what the future brings, because on the November 20th, looking forward to it, but I'm looking forward to next year.
And the years after.
And yes. And so that we can all just meet again to just fellowship, spread some music, spread some love, and just let this thing grow. Remembering that every artist, every time you turn on the radio and you hear an artist singing a song that you love, just think about that artist and what kind of life that artist is living. And is that life a good life, right? And how can I play a part in making sure that this artist continues to do exactly what I enjoy listening to? You know what I mean? And once we get involved in each other's lives, in one way or the other, you know what I mean, we'll learn to live and love.
We didn't get a chance to speak about your latest album, Stella's Kid, and I know who Stella is. It's your grandma. And they say that you say that you always pray to the Father to keep your feet grounded and your head out of the cloud, regardless of where this journey could take you. And it's going to keep you physically, emotionally, spiritually, and musically intertwined at all times. I've been digging.
Yeah, you've been digging for real. Well, you know, at the end of the day, we must be able to keep our feet planted, right? So that we don't get carried away by the glitz, the lights. Somebody had said to me one time that they was surprised how they can they can come and just talk to me and so on. And I was kind of confused by what the person was saying, right? The person saw you in a different light. I held the guy's hands and I said, listen, man, we are the same, right? Don't make the other things in them that you see carry on, dazzle you. At the end of the day, we can sit down and reason. And we sat down backstage at that venue and we started talk. He wanted his son to meet me because his son said he was impressed by a song that I did on that show. And when I sat down there and I started talking to him, he said, man, I would never know how it felt to actually come and sit down because he was feeling intimidated. And I said, nah, man, me just the same like you and no different. We are here to do one thing and one thing only, right? And if I can't talk to you on the stage, I can't talk to you off the stage. So I want to talk to you there and there, on and off. Make we sit down and reason, man. And everything is nice. So we get together. We are no better than each other.
Indeed, we are one.
We are one.
Caution, it's been a pleasure, an honor. I am totally humble to have had this interview with you, and I'm looking forward to many more because we have a lot of work to do. The mission is now. We got to talk about food. We got to talk about music. We got to talk about spirituality.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to seeing you on November the 20th at the Garden in Lauderdale Lakes. $40 if you're buying your tickets, but I encourage businesses, and I'm gonna knock on a few businesses to make sure that they buy a minimum of 10 tickets so we could support this great cause, because your music has inspired us and will continue to do so times and times again. Thank you.
Thank you.
I shall wear it proud and strong. And no matter what them say, this shall never fade away. He is my strength and my redeemer. So open up your heart and let him come in. Jah, he's so forgiving. So don't ever walk away. No, don't ever turn your back. No. Don't be afraid to call his name. Don't be afraid to give him the glory. No. Don't be afraid to call his name in your time of need. No. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Yo. Give Jah the power to come on, yeah. Come on. Come let we give Jah the power to take over. Yo. Give Jah the power to come on, yeah. So come let we give Jah the power to take over. Ooh, if my cross is my covenant, I shall wear it proud and strong. No matter what them say, this shall never fade away. He is my strength and my redeemer. So open up him come. He's so forgiving. No, don't ever turn your back. No, don't ever walk away. No, take it. Come back, wicked Jah. Give Jah the power to come on, yeah. So come back, wicked Jah. Give Jah the power to take over. Come back, wicked Jah. Who do you think you are? Listen. Who the hell do you think you are? 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 Listen. You must have lost your mind yesterday. I didn't really hear what you had to say. Refer to me as boy, you must be crazy. You see slavery done gone out the other day. I said, who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think? Listen, you're trying to control what's not yours. You see, time has changed. Nothing will remain the same. Question, when will greed and deception come to an end? You see, we're living here on this earth. Why should we live this way? Somebody say, who the hell do you? Come on. Who the hell do you? Who the hell do you? Who the hell do you think you are? Why should the innocent pay for the guilty? And the guilty will always go free. Am I not man with a mind of stone? What do you think of me? Ask one more time. Who the hell do you think you are? 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 Come on. Who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you? This is dedicated to all the Arctic and Rastaman living on the land. Rastafari. Want to be dread. Me no business want nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way. No way, no way, no way. Want to be dread. Me no business want nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way. No way, no way. Listen. Me mama never like how me turn out. My sister never check for what me talk about. Them condemn every word that come out of my mouth. True, them never check for what they dread I talk about. But the one thing I have to tell them, I'ma still a shout out. Rasta me a different from the beginning to the end. Again, 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 again. Want to be dread. Me no business want nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way. No way, no way, no way. Want to be dread. Me no business want nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way. No way, no way. Listen. Now this is dedicated to the young generation. Listen to me keenly and please try. focus is your education. If you choose to be dread, man, please overstand. Firm in your heart, stick to your plan. Whoa, come make me chant this your one. Whoa, come make me chant this your one. Want to be dread, ain't no business for nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way, no way, no way, no way. Want to be dread, ain't no business for nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way, no. Bring it on down, listen. Mama never like how me turn out. Sister never check for what me a talk about. Them condemn every word that come out of my mouth. True, them never check for what they dread I talk about. But the one thing I fi tell them, I'm still a shout out. Rasta me a defend, beginning to the end. Again, yeah. Dread, me no business for nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way, no way. Bring it on down, I don't think they got it. Listen. Mama never like how me turn out. Sister never check for what me a talk about. Them condemn every word that come out of my mouth. True, them never check for what they dread I talk about. But the one thing I fi tell them, I'm still a shout out. Rasta me a defend from the beginning to the end. Again, your time. Again. Want to be dread. Me no business want nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way. No way, no way, no way. Want to be dread. No business want nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way. No way, no way, no way. Want to be dread. Me no business want nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way. No way, no way, no way. Want to be dread. Me no business what nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way. No way, no way, no way. Want to be dread. Me no business what nobody have to say. I'm not gonna let nobody change my way. Change my way. No way, no way, no way. Yeah!
ABC Ultimate Studio in association with Jam Rush Production presents Caution and Friends, Saturday, November 20th, 7 p.m. at the Garden, 4340 North State Road 7, Lauderdale Lakes. Performing live, Red Fox, Michael Russell, Ed Robinson, Simone G, Potential Music, Carl the Righteous, Two of a Kind, backed by South Florida's #1 reggae band, Code Red. Special appearance by Caution. Pre-sold tickets online at bit.ly/Caution and Friends. On Ice Jamaican Restaurant, Bruno's, or Fancy Loaf Bakery. Caution and Friends.
You've been listening to the Global Business Talk Show. Remember to tune in next week for more guests, interviews, information about businesses, and beyond.